What's up, guys? Good morning. In-season scouting. The difference between in-season scouting and postseason scouting. Right now, it's the first week and a half into the season, so I am starting to do some very, very aggressive and a lot of in-season scouting. If I'm off, I am in the woods looking in the morning. And if I get hot sign, I am on it. I'm hunting it that night. If I am scouting a spot, a known betting area I know of, which I found in the postseason, that's when you find all them spots. You find the betting areas in the postseason. You go into the betting areas in the postseason and figure out what's what and where's where and when is when. Now in season is when they are using that specific area, so you are lightly scouting these pieces outside of the betting area to find out, are they using that now. Well, if you go into a piece, a perimeter just outside of a betting area and there's no sign, there's no reason to hunt that betting area. They're not using that. You're looking for tracks, rubs, scrapes, mature buck scrapes this time. They make scrapes this time of year. Rubs and tracks, scat. You look for known trails going into the bedding and out of the bedding and see if there's fresh tracks, fresh rubs coming out. And if there is, like I said, it's time to hunt it. If there's fresh sign, that's the time of year they're using that. If you go in and there's nothing, move on. Go scout somewhere else. Today and every day that I got time, I'm scouting all my bedding areas, the perimeter of them and just outside of them. I'm not poking in. I'm just going to the outside of them, like I said, to just see if they're using them. If they ain't, I'm moving on to the next one. So keep that in mind. All right, now here's your woods, right? It's the big woods. And then it's transition, oaks on the edge. And you got everything you're looking at here is really, there's an old cutover. There's some big oaks in the middle of it, which is good too. But what we're looking for in season scouting is like this trail going into this bedding. And what I see is there ain't many tracks going in here on this certain trail. So I'll go, there's a big square. And I'll walk this whole perimeter of this bedding. And that way is a crop woods. Walk this whole perimeter of this bedding, seeing where they're using this bedding area. If they're not, I'm gonna move on. I'll come back in a week or two and check it again. In-season scout. All right, this is fresh. This is the last couple days. You can see it down here. This right outside of bedding. Today's the easterly wind, so it's going that way. So I think the deer are bedding on that side on the opposite side we are of this bedding area. So, but this they're using right here. There's tracks going in. You can see the tracks going in. It's all beat down. That's a telltale sign. Velvet coming off. Not a big rub, it's a knee high, but they're using it, But this is the stuff you gotta look for in season scouting. They're using this side of this bedding. Now it's time to hunt it. All right, guys, here's an example of in-season scouting. First, postseason scouting. I am scouting all this. I'm scouting this whole inside here. I'm going in here and walking this whole transition of this primary bedding. See, primary bedding, this is a primary bedding spot. All this is in here inside that yellow line. Here's your point circled. It'll be the travel routes out, most likely, out and in. Again, postseason scouting, I'm going in here and I'll find the little areas of a bunch of beds. Like there'll be little corners where there'll be 10 beds here. There'll be a little corner of 6 or 8 beds here, etc., etc. And that'll probably be based on wind or noise, depending on the whole thick scenario inside here. Um, but these points and bowls here, you're going to have trails going in and out. Here's your trails. It's just an example, guys. But here's your trails. You'll probably have a trail going through here too, I'm sure. Um, In-season scouting. When I'm doing an in-season scouting, I'm coming in here. I'm walking. I'm not walking this whole woods here. There's really no need to, because all the sign you find up in here is all most likely going to be nighttime sign. You want to find the sign up on these edges. On these edges, the sign is key. In postseason, you're finding the rubs and stuff and the trails going in here. And once again, you're invading this bedding area. In season, you are not going in here. Going in here could screw that up for the whole year. What you're looking for is, I'm looking for hot sign on these trails going in here, right here, anywhere in here. You're going to be looking for hot sign going in here on deer trails, because there are going to be deer trails coming most likely all through, going into this primary bedding. Um, Walk in here. If there's fresh sign anywhere I just circled or inside this circle, it's time to hunt it. If not, come back next week. Don't go in here with a stand on your back and just sit it to sit it. You're guessing. You want to make the most out of every sit you have. So that's why postseason scouting, I'm learning, is so important. Last year I got into a lot of guessing, and it's frustrating. If you're not in the right area at the right time, you're not going to see much, man. You are just not going to see much, and it's very frustrating. I got into that scenario a lot last year because I didn't have the time I wanted to. I did, but I didn't take advantage of it, I should say. This year I'm kind of taking advantage of the time I have and doing more scouting and hunting, and it's going to put you in a better, way better scenario doing this way. Dan Info always say scout, 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 hunt. More scouting and hunting, and it's so true. So once again, if I'm finding hot sign in here, it's time to hunt it. And there might be a trail here, a trail here, and a trail here. But depending on the wind, in another advantage to something like this is, if you got a wind coming in this way, he's probably going to be somewhere over in here. If you got a wind coming in here, he's probably going to be on this side somewhere. This way, wind, probably going to be in this way, and nothing's 100% though. So take that in consideration too. Again, do not go in here during the season. Do not. You can wreck it for the whole season. You get any kind of human scent in there, you could really ruin your chances in this spot for the season to see a big mature animal that you're after. And if you're seeing mature animal sign out here, it's time to hunt this, because that's telling you, okay, I'm here, I'm using this bedding area at that specific time. And the neat thing is, I'm learning and I'm being told, learned, and observing is, if there's hot sign a specific week of the year, that means most of the time that they'll use that at the same time every year, and that's what it really takes a while to figure out areas on the timing of the use of certain areas, if that makes sense. So guys, keep that in mind. And these trails, one more thing, these trails going in here, if you sit here, you got hot sign in this area and you got to hunt it, you sit here one night, don't see nothing, sit here. And then if you don't sit here one night, it's going to be right here. That's called stacking. Stack your hunts. Don't just sit here and not sit in these two.
If you don't see nothing here, move on. Boom, you don't see nothing here, boom, move on. Most likely when you get down to here, or vice versa, you start here, go here, or whatever in that rotation. Most likely, if you hunted these two spots here, didn't see anything, most likely that third night you're going to see something come by you. It's not 100% once again, but most likely. So keep that all in mind, guys. Once again, thanks for watching. That's just a short example of in season, how in season scouting is so important. So, all right, man, take care.